GrownFolksMusic.com.
Jake, welcome to GrownFolksMusic.com.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your time today. Got a current album out.
Current album is out. Stronger. Yes.
Talk about the album.
Album is, it's good music, and I've been hearing a lot of people throwing those two words together around a lot. Good music, and everybody I think has their own definition of it, and I think for me, good music is a representation of what Marvin Gaye, of what Prince, of what Morris Day and the Time, even the Rick James, going back to all these musical moments that really defined the space and time. It really gave us our R&B identity. You know what I mean? Smokey Robinson, Temptations, and all these things. And so, a lot of my music on this album, pretty much all of it, is reminiscent of something that you've heard before.
I hear the Prince influence.
Yeah, you've like, Hope This Makes You Love Me. Like that's
where
Prince.
I heard it.
That's just Prince all day.
Prince.
You know what I mean? Was it next to you? I Gotta Have It is a very, very Rick James moment. That's Rick James. And then you got the listen, you. That's Marvin Gaye. You know what I mean? So it's like I wanted to really, really pay homage to the connection that music should have to to current R&B music, and that's for me when I'm at my strongest. You know what I mean? That's for me as a musician, me as a real singer, me as a writer. When I'm able to write real content, write about real life, write with real emotion. That's when I'm at my best. And so that's why I feel like this album is stronger. This is what it is.
You have a new musical management home, Primary Wave.
Yes.
And you're in good company with CeeLo and Eric Ney and a few others. Talk about why you made the move to Primary Wave, and why you think it's a good fit for you.
Well, I mean, I think that, we wanted to, me and my partner Jay wanted to take advantage of some different type of opportunities in terms of what was being managed. And I think that in trying to build a brand, you just kind of want to connect to a lot more than just music. You know what I mean? Connect to a lot more than just acting. And the services that they offer from a digital standpoint to the people that seek branding opportunities, to the musical side of the company that goes and looks for sync opportunities for your music and things like that. Those are the things that we kind of wanted to take advantage of. You know what I mean? Not just the traditional style of managing, but the new age style of branding. You know what I mean? Which is basically the new form of managing at this point. So we wanted to get involved with those sort of things. So it's kind of new, and we're testing the waters and figuring some things out. And so we're doing all right. You
mentioned acting. Tomorrow, December 6th, in addition to performing, you're going to be in two places at once.
It just happened last week too. I was performing on stage and the Soul Train Awards was on, and
So you're going to be performing on stage, and you're also going to be in A Second Chance Christmas on TV One. Tell us about that.
It's great, man. TV One is doing a good job with building up their content. For the urban community, for the black folks, you know what I mean? That we have something good to watch, something good for the family to sit and tune into. And, McKinley Freeman and, everybody else on this cast, awesome people, and so Second Chance at Christmas it's bigger than just the word Christmas, you know what I mean? Christmas means something bigger than just, this time of the year, but it's a year-round feeling, you know what I mean? It's an overall idea of being happy and giving and contributing to people's lives all year round, you know what I mean? And so in this particular movie, McKinley's character, he goes through a traumatic loss, you know what I mean? And so now it's an opportunity for us to try and figure out getting him to his second chance at being happy, establishing a relationship with his soon-to-be, son, or and me kind of using our relationship as brothers to help build him back up. You know what I mean, in that space. So it's a good movie.
What part do you play?
I'm the football player. He's my agent, but also my best friend.
Okay.
So I'm kind of the man. I think I'm the man in this movie. Because I'm the athlete, the star athlete. Okay. So yeah.
Is acting something that you are going to be pursuing or doing more of in the future?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot more of that, and I think the music thing is good. I mean, I've been doing that for since I was 5. You know what I mean, and acting soon after, but I've never really taken full advantage of my acting abilities and even the opportunities to act. So, now at towards the later part of this year and starting in 2015, like we've been just solely focused on that and pushing the line.
Have you received scripts?
Yeah, no, I mean, just like Second Chance to Christmas, we just did that. We're shooting a TV show, another TV show with TV One.
Okay.
Next year, in January, and just got another 2 scripts in. Okay. They're like, "Tank, you'd be perfect for this. You should do it." Okay. So I think everybody was just kind of waiting on me. You know what I mean? Everybody was just kind of waiting on me to be serious and be 100% committed to it. And now that the casting directors and a few people that I know are like, okay, he's really in. Let's give him some work and let's really figure this thing out. So that's where we're at.
Take social media.
Hold on a second. Vegas, you all on the camera.
Social media. I noticed you speak your mind on social media. Talk about, and also noticed that the fans speak their minds as well and come back and respond. Talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of having that instant communication and having that accessibility to the fans, or the fans having that accessibility to you, that, the relationship that social media creates that wasn't quite there before.
Well, I mean, I think it's good and bad. You know what I mean? With anything. The tough part about social media is that, it's instant. Like, it's immediate. Whatever it is. You know what I mean? If it's great, it's going to be immediately great all around the world. And if it's bad, it's going to be immediately bad all around the world. And so you do have to be mindful of how you manage it. You know what I mean? You have to manage your own social media. You have to manage your emotions. You have to manage your output and your intake as it pertains to that. Me, I'm emotional. You know what I mean? I wear my feelings on my shoulder, and when you say bad things about me or bad things about the people that I love, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? I want to say something back. I'm that type of guy, and I'm the guy that really has to be monitored. You know what I mean? And my manager, JL, called me and said, "Hey, man, you can't say that. You can't do that." I'm like, well, why do they get a pass? You know what I mean? And it's like there's this thing where because I can sing or because I'm this quote-unquote celebrity that I should be allowed to be beat on, disrespected, and demeaned and not be able to do or say anything about it. I'm supposed to be this superhuman, bigger than life. Oh, you're bigger than that. Okay, well, what does that mean, though? You know what I mean? And when is somebody going to say something in my defense or my family's defense? Or is everybody just going to allow that to happen? You know what I mean? That's the other tough part about social media, is that we've given individuals who lack common sense or any type of self-respect, we've given them a voice, an opportunity just to say whatever they feel at the time. Some of them have no lives. They're not really going anywhere in the near future. So all they really have to do is to make my life or any other celebrity like Chris Brown or whoever they feel like picking on for the day, try to make their lives difficult. And, we're human beings at the end of the day. So social media, it affects us. It affects us in good and bad ways. And so trying to manage that is always a challenge. But, I'm just that guy. You're just not going to run over me. And that's just my life, period. You know what I'm saying? In anything. I'm going to say what I feel and accept the repercussions as a man. whatever comes with that.
TGT.
Mm.
Did you fulfill all the goals that you wanted to fulfill with the first TGT album? Did TGT do everything you wanted it to do? And will we see the group again?
TGT didn't even scratch the surface of what we were capable of. Very unfortunate.
Why is that?
It wasn't three guys trying to be a group. It was three stars trying to become one star. It was Genuine's been in the game. I can't say how many years. It's his 20 years. It's my 16 years. It's Tyrese's 16 years. All trying to figure out how to make all those years come together and make sense for one particular idea, one event, and it's tough. It was tough. It was the hardest album I've ever made in my life. It was the hardest bunch of songs I've ever had to record, and it was just so much involved in negotiating and scheduling. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, and you know, when it comes down to it, unless you're really ready to 100% sell out to the idea of being a team, being in a group where no one man's agenda is bigger than the other, when it comes to the group, then it won't work.
May I ask this with respect? Did you ever ask anybody, meaning did you call anybody else who was in a group, like Johnny Gill, like Keith Sweat, how they made LSG work, come together from the solo careers, and how they were able to put it together? Did you ever?
Well, Keith Sweat is a good friend of mine. He's he's one of my OGs. So,
okay.
I talk to him, a lot. Keith gets right down to it. See, baby, this is how y'all should have did it. You should, like, right now, if you need me to make a call, I can make a call because I manage myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I book my own dates and I got my own radio show. I'm in 72 markets. So, that's what I'm doing, if y'all want to be like me. Keith he breaks it down to me often, how they made that work. And I think the small difference in what they were doing and what we were trying to do is that those guys did music. Like, it was just about music. You know what I mean? There was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, there was no branding. There was no branding. It was just straight up music. Like, let's do this music and let's get out there, give these people this music, and let's get out here on this road and make this money. This is music. And I think that with the new age now, there are so many other factors involved. You know what I mean? There's movies, there's television, there's Instagram, there's all these other things that people are factoring in on their own. You know what I mean? And figuring out how they can capitalize on their own individual brand than the music. You know what I mean? So it's like the music is secondary. It's secondary. It's not the priority. And with that being the case, that's kind of how it was handled. You know what I mean? Which is how we were able to put out an album, the number one album, sell close to 300,000 records, and not tour. You know what I mean? To do 6 shows throughout the whole world.
Yikes!
That's a fail. You know what I mean? So. Who knows? TGT is signed on for another album. You know what I mean? We have budgets in place. Okay. We have, Atlantic is ready to pull the trigger on that at any moment. But
the brothers have to come together.
If there's not going to be a real commitment to TGT, first and foremost, if that's not going to be a priority, then I don't want to be part of it.
At the beginning, you were talking about just really making sure that you made music that resonated with people and that paid homage to some of the great artists that came before. that being said, you are part of a ever-shrinking club of R&B male vocalists.
Yeah.
It's a dying breed.
Mm-hmm.
What responsibility, and you touched on it by saying making good music, but what responsibility, if any, do you feel as a torchbearer of R&B as a male vocalist?
It's a tough responsibility. It's tough because is this noise bad?
Go ahead, he can edit it.
Okay. I don't know if we can find another space. Do you want to find? Are you okay? Okay. All right.
I'm hoping, you know.
Huh?
I'm hoping. I just roll with it. Whatever they tell me, sit down.
Okay.
I usually go up, but when he said, you know, we can do it out here, I make it work.
Okay.
We make it work.
It's a very tough space to be in because it's like you said, it's like being the last of a dying breed that looks like it's surely dying. It doesn't look like it's getting better. It doesn't look like that the idea that I can really sing and that I can really write good music and that I'm really a musician, and it doesn't look like that's having an even more of an impact on how people view me or view anybody for that matter. You know, it doesn't look like those things are helping anymore. It's still everything is still leaning more towards the shock value and what people will say that most people aren't willing to say in a song, or what dance move people are willing to do. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? And so, as those things become more popular and actually being talented and actually being skilled becomes less popular, I don't know. It's tough to maintain. It's tough for me because I can do it all. You know, if we want to be ratchet and just turn up the auto tune and just make money, then we can do that. I've been conflicted in that. You know, I've had moments where I dabble in it, but it's not fulfilling. You know what I mean? So I struggle with the balance to, quote unquote, carry this torch and be this R&B savior, this guy, this last of the Mohicans who's gonna just die with it and go down with the ship. And the flip side is, in January I have 5 kids.
The kids have to go to college. That's right.
You know what I mean? My mama, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, she can go and do anything that she needs to do. You know, my parents, and, you know, if my sister needs anything, I want to make sure that she can have whatever she wants. And, you know, I like nice things. You know what I mean? I want to drive in a nice car. You know what I mean? I want to live in a nice house. And that's the struggle. That's the dilemma. How do I carry this torch and stay true to what I feel is R&B music and R&B singing, and still earn a living?
Do you think that's why a lot of the veterans now are doing things like acting?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to find, you know, some people are just trying to find a way to survive. You know what I mean? Survival is not really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to thrive. You know what I mean? It should be healthy. It should be growing at a healthy rate. You know what I mean? It should be getting better and better. It should be growing. So I don't know. I think that, you know, everybody's gone into survival mode because nobody really knows what to do. You know, so they're just taking chances on anything. They'll pose naked if they got to. They put, you know what I'm saying? They'll act like somebody hacked their page and put a bunch of naked dingling pictures out there just to, you know what I'm saying? You know, people are trying it. It's just desperate times. You know what I mean? Talent used to be it. If you were talented, that meant everything. That was it. You know what I mean? And the record company bet on talent. Now the record company, they don't even do that. So,
well, I challenge you to just throw the gauntlet down, and just knowing your songwriting background and knowing what you're able to do. I challenge you to throw the gauntlet down and say, this is draw the line in the sand and say, this is who I am, and this is the type of art I'm going to put out.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not received, I just challenge you to just throw it down, because somebody's got to be the standard bearer at this point. It's a state of emergency, Tank.
It's a state of emergency. It's a state of emergency on both sides. You know what I mean? It's you know, it's who are we making are we making this music for? You know, because the outlets are shrinking. So yeah, we're making this good music, but who's going to hear it? Like who at Target is going to say, you know, we're going to put this in the front. You know what I mean? Who at Walmart is going to say, you know, this is going to be our feature for the month? And who, you know what I mean? Like who's going to give R&B at least the respect it deserves? I mean, and I'm going to keep, as long as I can. I'm going to fight the fight as long and as hard as I can.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate that. This is the time in the interview when you get to promote yourself. Okay. And we call it Shout It Out. You get to tell us all things Tank. You can tell us where we can get Stronger, the album, and where we can see Tank on the big screen and on the road, and your social media platforms. Shout it all out. Tell us.
Stuff.
Go.
Tank, you can always find me at The Real Tank, Twitter, Instagram, The Real Tank, music.com. You can find all of my music stuff there. Go to iTunes. Got a bunch of albums on there. Tank, Now or Never, This Is How I Feel, TGT, Stronger. My real fans got the real old stuff, the One Man, the Force of Nature, the Sex, Love, and Pain. You know, catch me on your television. Soul Train Awards was great. Hosted that. Got to do some cool things with that. The Second Chance of Christmas is coming. New TV show, new things with TV One as well. Top of the year, look for that. Also, the most important thing we're doing right now is we have this Stronger Youth Fitness company that we've started that is getting ready to take off something crazy. So you will also not just be able to hear me and practice singing with me, you'll be able to practice figuring out how to look like me. Okay, so
don't give them false hope. Now, come on.
You too can be a Tank. We got that going as well, and you know, we got some new artists. Saya out of Brooklyn, who's my rap artist. She's, you know, seen her from Sisterhood of Hip Hop, as well as 12 Tills, some young kids out of Beaumont. 3 country young boys that just know how to sign. Mm-hmm. We're gonna put them on the map, man, and the rest is R&B history, R&B money in the building. We are pushing, we are promoting, we fight.
Thank you for your time, Tank. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed talking to you.
GrownFolksMusic.com